Anymore in the NFL.
I know, but these guys they drafted, they were very good on one. Play these two blocks on them every time. They can't do that. They can't get any pressure. They can't even stop the run. They need another.
I'm wondering if they can get 3 qualified defensive linemen. You want 4.
That's right. I want 4 defensive linemen and 3 linebackers, and that'll help that secondary.
I think David Blaine is the guy they should be calling in to try to just
ridiculous to talk about the season might be over, because the season might be over, but it also might not be over. Things can change quickly.
Leonard, nobody's saying the season's over at 1-1. Our question is, if you had to bet right now on who's going to finish last in the AFC North, who would you bet on?
You know what? That's a sucker's bet, because you never know.
Who's the worst team? Who's the worst team right now?
Bet. You know, well, I would say the Cleveland's the worst team, because as horribly as the Steelers played, they still beat them.
I know, okay? but then they came back and beat the Saints.
Okay, so then you got, and the Steelers beat the Browns. So if you're using that logic, the Steelers are better than the Browns and the Saints. So and neither of those is really true. We'll only see down the line. But the point is this: the defense didn't make plays when they had to at the end of the game, and the Steelers' offense put the nail in the coffin against the Browns. So if I got to bet right now, I'm betting on the Steelers.
I think
they won the game.
I think by that logic, Pitt is better than both USC and Stanford, and whoever either of those 2 teams might beat the rest of the way. Correct?
I don't know. I'm confused now, but I do hear him, and he's basically agreeing with us. Neither one of us thinks that the Steelers are going to finish in last place, but we'd have to think long and hard about whether it would be them or the Browns as we sit here today. As far as his point about unfair expectations, I don't think anybody's expecting the Steelers of 2014 to be the Steelers of 2008 or 10. How about just competent? How about not giving up 180 yards rushing? How about getting a turnover? A single turnover. How about that?
Troy is on 93.7 The Fan. Hi, Troy.
How you guys doing?
Terrible.
I think we're jumping the gun just a little bit here. I understand they haven't showed up the first couple of weeks of the season, but I'm not going to look and say they can make changes here and there. I'm looking at the schedule. We got the Saints at home. We all know the Saints aren't good in outdoor weather. The Ravens have to go to the Saints, play in the Dome, which they're a lot more comfortable in. I think if we look at the schedule, we got some teams at home, manageable games to win. We got Monday night football games, Sunday night football games at home against the Ravens. We definitely don't show up.
I don't know, man. Are you feeling better or worse about the schedule than you were before the season? I think I may be feeling a little worse. For instance, I look at a game against Houston under Bill O'Brien. That suddenly looks a little bit different. He's gone.
His phone was starting to go underwater.
They got to go into Carolina next weekend. That doesn't look like a win to me, does it to you?
No. Not many games on the schedule look like a win, and this is maybe where you're, what's the phrase, prisoners of the moment right now and at the mercy of the moment. Nothing looks like a win when you get beat 26-6 by Baltimore and you look pretty terrible in every facet of the game in doing so. The point that I think we're both making here ultimately is you can say that things are bad when the team's coming off a very bad loss. It's neither of us thinks that there's all that much potential for them to get a lot better. Like, they might win 7, 8, 9 games even, but I really hard-pressed to see them being the 10-6 team that I said they were going to be before the season.
It's wonderful that they beat the Browns in Week 1. It is. They were a hair away from the worst loss of the Mike Tomlin era and one of the worst losses in team history. At home, to be up 27-3 against the Cleveland Browns, and they barely survived.
If they had lost that game, 31-whatever, and had lost to the Ravens the exact same way as they did, what do you think would be the tone right now surrounding this team? I know they started 0-4, 2-6 last year. I know all those things are true. This place would be at panic crisis level mode as a fan base. Steve Palazzolo of Pro Football Focus is going to join us coming up next. We'll see how the Steelers grade out on the Pro Football Focus measures. I have a bad feeling about how this is going to come down the pike for them.
He's the guy before the season who said they had no elite players on their defense. Maybe he was right.
store or choose Nissan.com. Offer ends September 30th. It's times like these you ought to see Nissan Altima for yourself. Innovation that excites. For well-qualified lessees with approved credit, $19.99 initial payment for 36 months. Excludes taxes, title, and license. Offer valid when financed through NMAC. Must take delivery from new dealer stock. 2015 EPA fuel economy estimate for Ultima 2.5S. Seats not designed by NASA. Pandora is a registered trademark of Pandora Media, Inc. Call 1-888-858-8319 for details.
A Fan 2020 Sports Update is seconds away.
We went out into the real world to show real people the X1 DVR from Xfinity. And here's what they had to say.
Do you DVR stuff?
I DVR everything.
With Xfinity, you can record and watch up to 15 shows at once.
I don't have to miss any shows. Ooh, that's exciting.
And with up to 240 hours of HD storage, you'll always have your favorite shows ready to watch.
You never have to worry about filling up the DVR.
Wow.
That's 14,400 minutes of HD heaven. The X1 DVR from Xfinity. What will you say when you try it? There are lots of great shows on TV these days, and with Xfinity, you'll never miss your favorites. Visit Comcast.com/switch today to get the Xfinity X1 Triple Play for $79.99 a month for 12 months and get $100 back. Plus, add X1 DVR service. Only at Comcast.com/switch today. Offer ends 11/9/14. Restrictions apply. New customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees including broadcast TV fee extra. Subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply. 2-year agreement required. Claim based on X1 DVR service subscription with 2 additional outlets.
Now, a 2020 Sports Update powered by Bowser Nissan.
Pittsburgh Sports Radio 93.7.
Amid reports that Ray Rice plans to appeal his NFL suspension, the Vikings today said that Adrian Peterson will return to team activities and will suit up on Sunday. Following his arrest on a child abuse charge, Peterson was deactivated yesterday. And Carolina coach Ron Rivera said it hasn't been decided if defensive end Greg Hardy will play against the Steelers Sunday night.